Happy Halloween, everyone. Just thought I'd have some fun and boot this beehive a bit. Just the leftists, SJWs, and LGBTQIA plus alphabet soups brigades' favorite topic: sex, gender, and preferred pronouns. Just colleges, schools, and some businesses and countries are trying to mandate, if not make it a law, that you have to use people's preferred pronouns. Also, trying to say that anyone can be anything when it comes to gender, literally. Politicians, schools, school boards, and mainstream media are ignoring and trying to cover up facts that don't agree with their narratives. For example, in general, that biological males have an advantage over biological females in most, if not all, sports. Period. I'm sorry, but facts are facts. Bone density, muscle mass, etc. are proven facts. We've seen time after time in high school and in college where men and boys are just blowing out women and girls in sports over and over and over. And there are also unfortunate circumstances where boys have taken advantage over the "I identify as" rule and have sexually harassed, assaulted, and raped other girls and women in the bathroom. It's also a fact that men who identify as women in prison that were allowed to house with women that have gotten other women pregnant. The people in question didn't do anything but identify as a woman. No surgery, no hormones, nothing. You can argue all you want against these facts, but they're true. I wish things were different, but they're not. If a man wants to be in a woman's prison, saying that they are a woman, they should qualify as one. On their own dime, they should have full surgery and hormone treatments which they cannot stop while they are in prison. And the same thing for those who want to share the other sex or gender's bathrooms. Full surgery and hormone treatments before access. If you want access, you gotta have the pass. If you don't and are caught, maybe it should be a crime, like a Class B misdemeanor. If you are a sex offender and are caught, Class A. If you don't want the hassle, go to a single-stall bathroom instead. If the single-stall bathrooms are not gendered, or shouldn't be. Now let's go ahead and go into the multiple genders issue. A lot of people argue this point, but scientifically there are only two genders. Just male and female. I'll have a link in the description on that. And then there are others who have gender dysphoria that want to make a change to the other gender. But again, this is from one to the other. That is still two genders. But what about those who are born with male and female genitalia? Others have asked. That's a good question. That's usually just the total number of people who differ from the normal male to female, male or male and female, is usually 1 out of 100 people. And the total number of people who receive surgery necessary to, quote, normalize genital appearance is far less. It's usually 1 or 2 out of 1,000. And I'll have a link for that as well for the intersex people. That'll also describe what is dealing with on genetics as well. Now let me go ahead and address the issue about, well, you can be anything or identify as anything you want to be group. I have a link for that as well in the description. If you look at that, they currently recognize 112 genders. Most of them are like, well, I feel male or female, but not really. Or I'm gender fluid, fluctuating between the two. Or I don't want to feel like a gender today, or whatever. It's mostly what they feel like, rather than what someone actually is or being. That's not counting those who are identifying like animals or vampires or mythical creatures or elements or etc. If you look at this list, you've noticed that they've ignored the one that the right or conservatives have directly created to shoot back at them. Super straight. Especially when they were saying it was transphobic to not want to date or have sex with someone who was a trans woman or man. Right. These are the same people who identify as a trans woman lesbian without surgery or hormones, mind you, and want to hook up with another woman. Now you tell me who's thirsty or desperate, or if this makes any sense to you. Let me get back to the genders here. How can you be a gender that is just based off of a feeling that you're making up, or based off of a feeling that is so ill-defined, that normally is so well-defined and already scientifically? Not to mention that you could just say that you're feeling something otherwise. It's just a fad. It's to feel cool, to feel like you fit in. That's all it is. To be in with the Tumblr or TikTok or Twitter crowd. That's it. Now as for the respect my pronouns crowd, if they want to be called like the regular ones, him, her, or them, okay, that's no problem. But if they're going to be like the gender fluid, changing their genders 5, 10 times a day or more, you should say, okay, your pronoun is it. And your nickname is Plato. Don't like it? Then grow up, get a thicker skin, and recognize facts. For those that identify as animals, this gets even funner. Get yourself a collar with a chain and a Nerf gun. If they identify as a pet, go get the collar and put it on them. If and when they complain, just plainly say, I'm sorry, I don't understand you. You're fill in the blank with whatever animal they are, and they can't talk. Want to go for walkies? If they identify as a wild animal, freak out and shoot them repeatedly with the Nerf gun, saying whatever wild animal they are, over and over. If they're a mythical creature, like a vampire, werewolf, or whatever, if you don't know what their, quote, weakness is, like holy water, crosses, silver, whatever, just go out and, quote, get it. Like if it's holy water, get yourself a squirt gun. A cross. You could probably find one anywhere. Or garlic, that's easy. Grocery store. Silver, that might be a little bit harder, but you could like pretend that your expensive silverware is silver. Have fun with it. And just have fun trying to take them out with whatever. As for elements like air, sun, whatever, ignore them completely. If they try to talk, explain that it's hard to understand whatever they are, that they just exist and don't talk. Sooner or later they'll catch on. If they act out because of it, they probably will. Take away their cell phone, or their internet, or their car, because they're an element and they don't need it. Or if they're an animal, take away the same thing. So comment below and tell me what you think about all of my ideas and what you think about the gender pronouns and other genders and political correctness, okay? Thanks.